We try to make ourselves look big, try to talk others down, and sometimes gain some respect aggressively, some godlike reverence to ourselves.
Welcome to Violent Men Ambassadors of Peace podcast. I'm your host, Kit, joined by my other host,
Papa Bear.
And we've got a guest, as you can see. He's not a familiar face, but maybe he can come back. His name is DC.
DC.
Go ahead and say what's up to the people.
Thank you guys for having me. Glad to be a part of what you guys are doing. Ever since you told me what you do with this podcast, it's been something that I've been wanting to do.
Yeah.
We've been working on this behind the scenes, getting me here, and so glad to be here. It's working out.
Yeah, so whenever we bring on a guest, we usually like to, do a pretty strong introduction, but I believe that the best person to talk about themselves is probably you. So before we get started, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am, I've gotten a little older, got a little bit more gray hairs, so I'm up there in age, but I'm originally from Waco, Texas.
Okay.
Any Waco people out there? As soon as I graduated high school, I left, came to the Dallas area. And I've been in the Dallas area ever since high school. And I won't tell you that the year I graduated, I just know I've been here a good while.
Yeah.
I've lived here longer than I've lived in Waco, so yeah.
Well, if y'all can't hear that, we've actually got torrential rain.
The panels might come off.
Let it rain.
Let's
Exactly.
yeah,
exactly. So you're
if
originally
we fly away, you know why.
So you're originally from Waco, Texas. So what brought you to Dallas?
Yeah, so I ended up going to played football at a small Christian college south of Dallas. Was called into ministry, said yes to ministry. Played at a Christian university, got my biblical studies degree, and with the specialization in pastoral ministries. And so got into Bible school, jumped into ministry, and did some other things as well too. And so, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But I was in full-time ministry for almost a couple of decades. While I'm doing
a couple of decades,
almost a couple of decades, if that goes to show how old I am.
Wow.
Ancient. No,
But did some full-time ministry, youth ministry specifically, and some young adult stuff too. But also the other part of that is also media ministry. Or just media production, video production. So I've done both things. I always tell people Jesus was a carpenter. And so if Jesus had his little thing, his little trade, mine was video production. And so that's what I do. That's what I do now. And I get to tell stories through the lens.
Yeah.
And I've always told stories from behind the pulpit, small groups, Bible studies. And I still am. I'm still telling stories. And so ultimately, I guess you could say, I'm a storyteller.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man, because, really our podcast is exactly kind of in line with exactly what you do. So we've talked about this before on the podcast. All of y'all know that me and Papa Bear, we're entrepreneurs, and you yourself are an entrepreneur. So, kind of go into that a little bit, and then I got some questions behind it. So.
Yeah, so I do video production. I get to tell stories. I work for a local sports professional team. Been back in the sports industry. I was technically, if I had to rewind it, before I was full-time ministry, I worked for 2 professional sports teams prior to going to full-time ministry.
Okay.
So worked for them doing that, and then now I'm back in it in this professional sports world. So I get to tell stories. I got some good news a couple of weeks ago that I'm once again Emmy-nominated. So I'm up for
nice.
I'm up for 3 Emmys. Now I must say I haven't won an Emmy yet, but this is my year. This is my year. So y'all believe with me that this is my year. So and as a matter of fact, one of those categories that I'm in, I'm up against myself. So if I don't win against myself, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And so I'm not nominated for 3. I get to tell stories through documentaries. Get to tell stories through telling brand stories. organizational stories, just all that kind of stuff. And then also I produce commercials, do music videos as well too. Don't always do music videos, but I'll do it whenever it's something I can take on my own and tell that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do. I have my own video production company as well too, and so I get to still travel around the country, travel around the world, being able to tell other brands stories. I've probably been to like every continent on this planet Earth, and
really?
telling stories, and so I love it. Love being able to tell stories, like I said, through the lens.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah. So what's interesting about you saying that you've been to different continents is that you've had an experience in different cultures. So doing video production in another place, I want you to say this for yourself, but like, of all the places you've been, what has been the most difficult environment to work in, continent-wise?
Continent-wise would be Africa, for sure.
Really?
Or should I take that back? I'll take it back. Although we didn't have to experience it, but just recently I was in, we had a chance to go to Haiti after the earthquakes.
Oh, you went to Haiti?
Well, we didn't. This time around, we didn't get to go the last time, but we had to go through. What's the other side of Haiti? I'm sorry.
There's Haiti and then Dominican Republic.
Republic. My bad.
No, that's okay.
So we staged in the DR, but prior to that, the team, our security detail, everybody, we had hostage negotiation training prior to going to Haiti, and then so here I am prepping to leave the United States, going to go do work for disaster relief there in Haiti, but I'm taking pictures of my body. I'm taking pictures of my tattoos. I'm taking pictures of my birthmarks, just in case I get kidnapped and something happens. And so, although we didn't get to finally go into the country, we were going to be flown in by helicopter, do what we had to do. That was probably the most interesting trip. However, going back to Africa, just dealing with certain details there. Every car that we have in Africa, we would have a security detail. So we got stories from former SEAL team members from the United States, also from the South African Army as well too.
Really?
Australian Army as well too. Like whenever we go to these countries, we're dealing with like dignitaries and popular people, celebrities here
cool.
in the U.S. And so dealing with that, being able to see those things and live in that world of like, no, we got to protect you. I get just as much as protection as the cameraman does, as whoever we're there to film doing what they're doing. And so, but that's been fun. That's always been fun. They'll equip me with my little dagger knife and my sprays and all my little lights that I have to carry on just in case I'm in a bad scenario that I need to be evacuated on.
Yeah.
And so, but those have been fun, but also knowing the risk of going into those places. A lot of those places still have my heart, you know.
Yeah.
The people have my heart there. The country has my heart. And so just being able to serve the people, being able to tell the stories of what's happening there on the ground has always been more important than the risk that it takes to go to those places.
Yeah,
Yeah. One cool story I'll tell you. So we were in Kenya, and I was out in the middle of nowhere. We were probably just a few miles away from Mount Kilimanjaro, and you can see Mount Kilimanjaro behind me. There was, maybe I'll send you the picture so you can show on the pod.
Yeah.
But I'm out filming in the middle of nowhere, and I take my drone up. To go film the area. The village people were saying, hey, there's some giraffes that way. If you go, and you'll see some giraffes naturally in their habitat. And so I was like, all right, took my drone up. And then all of a sudden, there should be no reason why I lose my signal on my drone, because it was plain terrain, flat terrain, and I lose my signal on my drone. My drone crashes, or at least it crash lands. Come to find out, but there's young people there that have no idea what this is. It might as well be a spaceship to them, and and then so I lose my drone. My interpreter I was like, hey, let's take a risk and let's see if we can find it. Let's spend 10 minutes finding it.
Yeah.
And if not, we're going to call it a loss. So you go, okay with it being a loss? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with it being a loss. And so we run into some kids from the local village. And it's like, yeah, we saw something that way. And we walk. And there's a man that's walking with his stick. He's walking to the nearest village to go see the hospital. He's going to the hospital. Hopefully that there's a doctor that would see him for the very little money that he has in his pocket. He's hoping that he can work out a payment plan to see what's wrong with his stomach. Something's wrong with his stomach. It's not just a normal stomach bug. And so he sees my drone. He knows where it's at. and we run into him on this little path. And he takes us back to where my drone is. And I told my interpreter, I was like, hey, I want to give him something. And I give him what is equivalent to $20.
Oh man,
U.S. currency.
That's huge.
And there it's a month's worth of salary, probably even more.
Whoa.
What I end up giving him for finding my drone, he will find my drone. I get my drone back. What I end up giving him, he's able to see the doctor, go to the hospital, see what's wrong with his stomach, and then be able to walk back to his village with some supplies for his family. And he's a happy man. He's like God orchestrated this. And so there's always cool stories like that.
Yeah.
I got another story. I got a little vitiligo spot on my eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's this very little small speck. And then so there was a kid that we were doing some work with in this orphanage. He had a little vitiligo spot on his chin. And I was able to leave him 2 months worth of cream supply to be able to like treat his vitiligo spot.
Nice.
I don't know. So like just thinking about all those things, like it's a lot of risk. Yeah, it's a lot of risk, but there's a whole lot more reward going to places like that and being able to impact, be able to tell the stories, to be able to send resources back to those places. And it's a blessing.
Isn't it funny how the way in which we get used is not really linear how we would like to think about it. We always think that it has to happen in this like picturesque type of way, like it's happening in a movie. But then you just happen to have the vitiligo cream, or you just happen to have a month's worth of salary to change somebody's life. It's like nothing to you. And then God turns around and just uses whatever you have. Yeah. So I want to kind of like jump off of what you're saying about how, you know, your time in Africa was difficult, because I want to give the viewers a behind the lens type of look about what we're dealing with right now. Yeah. We're in the United States of America. We film in an outdoor studio, and it is raining so hard outside, but we're remaining focused. So.
Yeah, it's pouring on the inside too, but we're about to pour out. So let's look at it that way.
That's right. Well, do you have anything, Papa?
No, I'm just soaking it all in.
No, literally soaking it in.
Figuratively.
But no, we actually, man, I'm like, I think I've been looking forward to this, to having you on this for a long time, because I just know, like, right whenever I met you, I'm like, man, there's just like something different about this guy. I think you said it's like a kindred type thing, where you just kind of like know we got something. Yeah. You know, we got something. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, which is pertinent to like me and Papa and also Jay, is like, because you're a business owner and because you're in the world, so to speak, and you come from a pastoral background, like, how do you find yourself operating in your own like business? Like, how is that treading within your own business and then being a witness and stuff?
Yeah. So first, before I answer that, we know each other because of pickleball.
Pickleball.
Yeah. Let me tell you about the pickleball community. You play pickleball, you're gonna fall in love with the game. But I'm almost just as in love with our community as well. You know, with the people that we get to play with. It's regular faces. Yep. Now, although I love seeing your face, I hate seeing your face on the other side of the court going against you. Yeah. This man serves the ball so stinking hard, man. It's so hard to return his serves. But pickleball is how we've got connected. Yeah. And then even like this dynamic of me being here because of pickleball has also opened up other opportunities. So it's really cool to be able to be a part of that community. But as a business owner, I feel, although it's my responsibility to be, the way that I think of myself as a business owner, I think of myself as a giver. I mean, you may be thinking as an entrepreneur, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, and those things do happen as a circumstance of being an entrepreneur. However, I think the thing that I lead in with is that I'm a giver in nature.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm finding very common that a lot of successful men and women in the kingdom are givers before they ever own their first business.
Yeah.
And then they learn how to be a giver and the importance of being a giver way before they ever learn how to put together a business plan. And then so that's my story. I can't tell you how many free videos I've done over the years that have blessed people, that have blessed ministries, but I'm just glad and honored that I get to be in a position now to do what I'd love to do, tell stories through the lens of the camera, and get paid for it. Because what's happening on the other side of that check being cashed for that video, there's a story being told on a platform for an organization that needs that story to be told. But I get to take those profits and do something with it. Whether that's blessing a college student that I know needs food, because I saw their Instagram stories of eating ramen noodles, and I'm like, I know that. Just it's talking about Africa. One of my friends just came back from Africa, but I sent a whole bunch of brand new basketball shoes to Africa.
Oh, that's cool.
And then on my way to go drop off those shoes, I stopped and got like a few $100s worth of Nike socks and Adidas socks to go match with those shoes. And then so I'm able to be that blessing. And then I get to be able to choose who I bless with the video or whatever. So, but I just love being able to be that entrepreneur. And I think before you think about wanting to be a successful entrepreneur, I would ask yourself, how good are you at multiplying, at being a multiplier? And being able to multiply, you got to be a smart businessman. You got to be a strategic,
shrewd.
But also, man, there's that philanthropic, that giver, that I think is important because for me, I think I am where I'm at. My wife is able to be a full-time entrepreneur. I'm able to have multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
She's able to do those opportunities. My family's able to do those things. My daughter knows a world right now that is very comfortable.
Yeah.
She's not aware of other people's obstacles in life. And I think she's very well aware of it because she sees family members going through those things. But I get to be that person in position but first and foremost, I'm good at my craft.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm good at my craft. I'm just not this guy who is able to afford a digital camera and say, hey, I'm a business owner now. Like, I'm good at what I do.
Right.
And I'm able to charge what I charge. I'm able to do what I do. And because I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And so being good at that craft, being good at your craft, being good at what you do, plus the mixture of what I know, what I want to do for the kingdom, those two things collide and open up opportunities that, man, are limitless.
Yeah.
And they continue to open up even more.
Well, one of the things I want to highlight, I think is something that we all have in common, including our producer, is like, we all get paid for our time. So before this pod even started, man, I was just thanking you for even being here.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you weren't here, you'd be charging people for your time.
Yeah.
If I wasn't here, I'd be charging people for my time. If he wasn't here, he'd be charging people for his time.
Hang on, let me unsend that invoice I just sent to you. I'm kidding.
But no, one of the things that we say on this podcast is like, we all have the same beliefs but different perspectives. So one of the things I appreciate about having you on here is like, we all love Jesus in here. We all have the same kind of like ideologies around what we're doing business for. But when it comes to like our life walks and stuff, we've all experienced life differently. Like, for instance, like Papa Bear, he's like 20 years older than me. And then you're 10 years older than me. So the time period in which you grew up in church is different than the time period in which you grew up in church, different than the time period I grew up in church. Yeah. So one of the things I kind of want you to talk about is like unpack like how before you went to church, while you were going to church, when you were pastoring a church.
It's testimony service now, huh?
Dude, say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, no. So I grew up in Waco. My parents divorced when I was 2. My dad left when I was 2. That whole typical story. When I was 7 years old, I have an older sister by the same dad, Me and my older sister share the same dad. I had a little sister, but she had a different father, obviously. But whenever I was 7 years old, my mom was murdered.
Jeez.
She was at a nightclub and was murdered at a nightclub. From that moment, even prior to that moment, we were living from house to house. My mom was she was 27 whenever it happened, so she was still young. She felt like she had a lot of life to live. She was living it up. And we love my mom. But we were living from house to house. Like, I was always being dropped off somewhere so mom could go out. But then after her death, like, it kicked off this spiral of who we're going to live with. You know, grandparents are going to raise us. And then we ended up living with an aunt and uncle. And that started the second half of my testimony, which ended up being somewhat of an abusive situation. And then so I ended up becoming a runaway. I was a runaway when I was 13, 14 years old. I ran away from home. Ended up living from house to house. Even the night that I ran away from home, my first night running away from home, I stayed under a bridge, literally.
Oh man!
Like, I knew I wasn't gonna live under a bridge, but I knew, hey, by the time I got to this certain bridge, which was next to my girlfriend's house, the plan was she was gonna bring me clothes. She was gonna pick me up at the corner store for school. She was gonna bring me some of her brother's clothes, and she was gonna take me to school. You know, so that was the plan. Like, and that just kicked off a whole lifestyle of, like, you know, living just this wannabe thug life. I was also an athlete at the same time. So if those two worlds, if that mixes, oh well, here I am, this athlete, wanting to be a little wannabe thug, right? And then, but this girlfriend that I'm referring to ended up taking me to church. She didn't introduce me to the Lord, but she brought me into this environment where I was just like, man, I need this in my life.
You saw something different.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic though too, and so I got saved at a Hispanic Pentecostal church. So here I am being Catholic, and they got this band on stage. I'm like, you guys have a concert like on a Wednesday night? She's like, no, that's praise and worship. Like, what is praise and worship? That looks like a concert to me. And so I got saved at a Spanish church. By the way, I don't know Spanish, so here I am. I feel the Spirit of God moving. I start getting plugged into the youth ministry there. During this time, I'm still living this life. I end up living by myself. I have my own house as a junior at high school. I'm able to do that because I got Social Security checks from my mom. I was able to use that to rent out this little private house behind somebody's house, a little guest house. I did those things. But man, I did it all, that whole typical smoking, drinking, even cocaine. I did it all, man.
At that age, did you have any male role models? Or anybody that you looked up to?
I would say yes and no. There ended up being a coach that was really instrumental in my life. He still is. He's still a part of my life.
Really? He was a coach?
Yeah. I think initially he took interest in my athleticism.
You know,
like, because I played quarterback. I was a lot skinnier.
Nice.
More nimble back then. But I played quarterback, and so they were like, hey, he's one of our future quarterbacks of this high school. By the way, I played football, high school football with LaDainian Tomlinson. So if that tells you any kind of timestamp of how old I am, so
you're young, bro.
Yeah, so I played high school football and Little League baseball with LaDainian Tomlinson, a Hall of Fame running back, and then so we were really good in football, obviously back in the day. Got recruited for football too, by the way, and baseball. Not like major offers, but like, you know, some JUCOs. My grades were bad. But coaches were a part of that. My youth pastor was a local Little League baseball coach who everybody wanted to play for because he had the best teams. And then so I get to this church where I get saved at, and he's the youth pastor at this church. And I'm just like fascinated that he is the youth pastor here. Never got to play with him or for him in one of his Little League teams. But now I get to be a part of his youth ministry. So I was drawn in automatically with that.
Yeah.
And then eventually this guy ends up mentoring me, him and his wife and his family. And man, I eventually tell him one day, I was like, hey, I think I'm supposed to do what you do. And I was like, be a youth pastor? I was like, sure. I didn't know the name of what it was.
So you just like you just knew.
I just knew I was supposed to do it, or something in that capacity. And so he became one of those guys for me in my life. And then other people came along the way as I've gotten older. There's been a lot of men over the years,
Right.
through the seasons of my life, that have been instrumental in the development of my life.
Man.
But I will say this, like, and I'll just jump the gun, like becoming a father, becoming a husband was still everything that I'm still experiencing in life, the next age in life, the next phase in life.
Yeah.
It still comes with this unknown risk factor because I have no reference for it.
Yeah.
I have no reference to what a 40-year-old dad looks like.
Right.
I have no reference to what a 40-year-old husband looks like, a 40-year-old entrepreneur looks like. I don't know those things. And so, because I'm going to be honest, like, I don't want to sound too spiritual, but I believe in generational curses.
But it's true, though.
I believe in them. And so,
Yeah.
so anything that I have a reference to, like, okay, so I'll give you a reference to what I'm talking about. So my daughter turning 7 years old was, or should I say turning 8 years old, was a victory for me, because I don't know parenting beyond 7 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's
So,
crazy.
Hey, we made it. We made it past that because I lost my last parent at 7 years old.
Bro,
and so-
real quick, I want to bring some just
Yeah.
real fast. You know something that I've heard that is like a curse on marriage is you get the 7-year itch.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like that number of completion.
Yeah.
Isn't 7 like a number
Yeah.
of completion?
Yeah.
It's like the world wants to take a number of completion. Well, it's not the world. It's got to be the devil, bro.
Yeah.
Taking a number of completion and taking it to a number of depletion.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to rhyme, whatever. But
you sound like
sorry,
a
go
preacher right
ahead.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, so making it to where I am today, sometimes I have to pat myself on my back because I don't want to give myself too much credit without giving glory to God.
Yeah.
You know, I'm nothing without Him, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm having a graduation every stage and phase in life because I made it. I made it. And at this point, I know who to rely on. I know who to count on. Obviously, my relationship with Christ.
But that's one of the main questions that I always get asked is, how can I be a good father, and how can I be a good husband?
Yeah.
And because a lot of us, we don't have a reference, right?
Yeah.
And I often say, you got to keep God number one. If you're a good, quote unquote, Christian or someone after God's heart,
Yeah.
you're going to be a good father and you're going to be a good husband because you're keeping number one.
Yep.
You know what you say, keep
Yep.
number one, and then you'll get 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
If you jump and focus on number 3, you're going to miss out on
Lose
1, 2,
everything.
and you'll be all over the place.
Yep.
So if you keep God first, that's key. That's all you need. Because at the end of the day, even the good parents had no reference. Maybe they could say, okay, so and so had this to do, but at the end of the day, what's going to prepare? How can I get prepared? You can't.
Yeah.
I can tell you anything you want, but
Yeah.
until you get there.
Yeah, and then even to where, like, being a father, so sometimes I feel like we go through things in life, and let's just say right now, if we're going through something, and we're going through something, and we're trying to protect our kids, like that's all like protection from the spiritual to the mental to the making sure I got bullets loaded in my guns, like to that type of protection, like we're just a protector in nature, as men, naturally so. At least we should be naturally so. I know some guys that don't have that in them, but I would say this too is like I want to make sure that the version of the adult that I want my daughter to be, that I'm reinforcing those things today.
Right.
Because we may say, hey, yeah, kids may see you going through things as an adult. They're resilient. And I was like, but also I believe in kids being resilient, and I want to raise a resilient kid. Yeah. But also in the moments that I have an opportunity to course correct for the sake of my daughter's future. Yeah. So that they're not looking back in a counseling session saying, well, yeah, this happened whenever I was a kid. Because every time you sit down for a counseling session, they're going to be like, so tell me, what was your childhood like? And I just think, because I've been in that counseling chair, both as the counselor and the one being counseled. Yeah. And that's where you always start. Like, like tell me about your childhood.
Yeah.
And then so I'm always thinking with the end in mind. I want my daughter to be able to, if she ever needs counseling, like, or when she needs counseling, I want her to be able to have a good reference of like, oh, my dad was good. My mom was good. Like, I want her to be able to say she had a good reference point and that she's not sitting in that chair because of me. Or because of us, or because of something that I didn't do or something that I did do as a father in her childhood.
You know what I realized whenever I had my pastoral moment where I said completion and depletion, right? What the devil tried to use, that number 7, right? Whenever your mom died when you were 7 as a number that signified depletion, he actually started the process of completion by starting the change in you.
Yeah.
Because that could have taken you out, bro.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about your daughter going from 7 to 8 is not only did she make it, but you know what it's like now from the time she was born till 8 years old to show your daughter what it's like to have her first love. I watched a child development video and it was talking about how a little girl's father is her first love.
Yeah.
So it's just beautiful that you get to be that guy. Like you get to be your daughter's first love. I get to be my daughter's first love.
Yeah.
He's got a daughter, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't want to preach, but like you get what I'm saying.
You preach it already.
The best example, like we often say, there's 5 gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the 5th one's your life. Just how you live your life, and how you live your life, and how you go about your business.
Yeah.
Speaks louder than you sitting down and saying, hey, this is what you do.
Yeah.
They're going to remember that more than you lecturing her or saying anything.
Yeah.
And I know for me, it was a whole lot easier for me to fill an empty gap with something good than for me to shed the generational curses that were upon me.
Yeah.
It was easier for me to say, okay, I didn't have a father, but I know what I want to be. And I know what I wanted, so I know what to be.
Yeah.
But there were things in my life that I just couldn't shake. There were some mental obstacles, some things that I could not shake. There were generational curses that were imposed on me because of my youth.
Yeah.
Those were harder for me to get rid of than to have a gap and fill it in with something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm like really. I'm listening to both y'all's stories, and what ties y'all together is the fact that and you said this yourself. You had multiple men in your life that were like father figures.
Yeah.
You had multiple men in your life that were father figures.
And that's why I asked that, because, I mean, you obviously are a pretty well-rounded man.
Yeah.
And I was just like, the way you turned out, you couldn't have been wandering through the streets by yourself. You had somebody. I knew there had to be somebody that spoke something into your life.
Yeah.
That dropped that seed, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, sports was a big part of it. Like staying out of trouble so I can make it to game day. You know what I mean? That kind of it was, small goals at those times back in the day. But yeah, having people like that in my life it's really instrumental in my life right now, even in my professional world right now. Last year I was up for a promotion.
Yeah.
And this is a true story. I was up for a promotion, and then it was a really cool opportunity. But then I saw the wave of young people from around the country that wanted this job, and I was like, I don't want to be in somebody's way of growing.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I ended up being a part of the interview panel to bring in somebody, and it's like, hey, this is the guy. Like, we got to hire this guy. Like, that's my recommendation. And then, so, and I'm not saying like I gave him the opportunity. I could have very well not gotten the promotion or that opportunity. But what I'm saying is the selflessness that I felt in that moment to be able to say, hey, I'm willing to sacrifice another promotion in life, another pay grade, pay raise and all that kind of stuff so that someone else can get the opportunity. And so that's been my life in a nutshell, is being able to sacrifice something for the sake of somebody having another door opened up in their life. And even if it's something that I can do to open up another door in somebody else's life. And I'll even say it like this, just so you know, I used to be a youth pastor.
Yeah.
And I in the world that I work in, I hired one of my former students.
Yeah.
One of my former students who does great work, and I just didn't hire them for the sake of hiring them, but they do amazing job. The portfolio was great. But I love being able to be in that position to give young people that opportunity, and so that they're sitting in a podcast 20 years from now saying, hey, who was it that gave you the opportunity? It was this Mexican dude who plays pickleball too much. And, gave me the opportunity. I'm here because of that. And if it's not for the professional opportunity, it's the same thing about a spiritual thing, a mentoring thing too.
Yeah, you know what's cool about like where we're all at? I think we all kind of like came to this consensus. It's like, it's cool that we're here. Like, how did we get here? We're just here. What are we supposed to do? And then one of the things that you said just now, like made a light bulb go off. And it's like, I think we're put in positions of authority so that way we can lower the barrier of entry for other people. Like, for instance, you knowing that you had to pass up on a promotion in order that someone else can move up, bro, you've been sacrificing from the get-go. So you're like, man, it's going to be made up for anyways. I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's no big deal if I give some of my time because this is the gifting that I'm in anyways. And if you're not using it, it's like a muscle. It'll shrivel up and die.
Yeah.
So, you know, beyond being a pastor, I think kind of like your ministry of just loving your brother extends beyond like the pulpit.
Yeah.
So do you feel like now that you are doing what you're doing professionally with your own business and stuff, do you feel like beyond the pulpit, your ministry has like kind of taken a different form?
I think it has. It has in the tangible. Now, I will say this. Let me go back. I do miss coming off stage. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I do miss coming off stage and hey, Pastor Drew, where's I love the Lord and I love being able to be there. That type of person,
Right.
you know, there is that ego part of something. I'm gonna be honest that I was a little celebrity in my world.
Right.
That I was in. I never really let it get to my head, but I did get addicted to the whole.
Yeah.
People need me.
Right.
And it became a part of my ego. Now, and whenever I did walk away from it, that was a concern. It was a concern in the sense of like, hey, man, I'm not going to be needed the way I used to be needed.
Yeah.
But little did I know that I was going to be able to tell an even bigger, broader story.
Yeah.
With the things that I get to do. I'm still doing like contract work for some churches and ministries around the city and around the country. And so I've been able to still be able to tell the gospel story. But I think, I don't know, like I'm going to tell a story that's common to you and I.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew this happened though. There was a young kid that comes in from the neighborhood, comes and plays pickleball.
Yep.
And he had a little $20 paddle.
So the guy you gave shoes to?
It was a different guy.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, it was-
sorry.
No, you're good. Hooked him up with a $300 paddle.
Yep,
In that
yep.
moment, I was like, "Hey, you like your paddle user?" I was like, come over here, man." Took him to the counter and was
Yeah.
like, "I think you need that one.
Yeah.
Like, you want that one." And
then you actually got another guy to jump in that like has no concept of like
Wow.
like
loving your brother,
Yeah.
but he's got that quality of wanting to give,
and it
he's
goes
probably
to show
gonna
if you could just be contagious. Like if you just do it,
Man.
it's contagious.
That's so wonderful, bro. Because, you know, when you gave up that position, you weren't giving anything up. You were actually gaining.
Yeah.
When you bless that kid, because, see, you embody what we talk about being a biblical masculine man, in my opinion, the way you live your life.
100%.
And I often say, a man's life is not his.
Yeah.
A true leader, his life is to be a servant. A true leader is for you to serve other people. So you live your life for your family. Your daughter calls you right now, "I need you, Dad." Guess what? You're going to leave this podcast. Right? Your life is no longer yours.
She's probably going to want Starbucks.
And like when you were talking earlier about being a giver, did you guys know that John D. Rockefeller tithed since he was a kid?
Oh, I didn't know that.
because he understands the principle
He
of
knew
tithing
the
and giving.
principle.
Yes.
And he's written and he said that he did not move until he heard from God.
Yeah.
So it's not
I didn't know
coincidental that a man that was a giver that saw himself as being generous first and foremost was that blessed. So I say that because you embody what we talk about on this podcast, and you're a true leader, a true believer in Jesus.
Thank you.
And the way you live your life.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's why we do. That's why we're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because we're not like you. Like, what makes me want to make more is give more. Man, if I could only do that.
That's it.
And like during one of our podcasts, we talked about, I think we entitled it, I want to be a brother like that.
Be a
I don't know
brother
if
like
you-
that, yeah.
Be a brother like that. It's like a kid that was downtown. A guy drives up with a Ferrari or a brand new sports car. And he's like, man, that's a really shiny, cool car. Where'd you get it? He said, my brother gave it to me. And he said, wow, I wish I was a brother like that. Instead of saying what everybody expects somebody to say, I want to be a brother. I want to have a brother like that can give me stuff. His mentality was like, I want to be a brother like that. That's going to be able to give somebody a nice car, and that type of mentality.
You gave him the Ferrari of paddles.
You're a river, not a dam. You're a river, not a dam. I believe that God uses people like that, and He needs men like that that can be true leaders, true givers, true generals.
Woo! But hey,
That's God saying amen.
do you remember? I want to tell him that story about the guy how he was talking about how they keep ledgers of giving and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's this guy that I know that was explaining to me that he was brought up in the business world by business people who understand the multiplication behind giving. These are people who probably aren't even may not
believers.
even know Jesus.
Yeah.
But he said that these guys made a business out of giving things away.
Yeah.
And he said these guys would actually keep a ledger. If they gave $100, they would keep a ledger of how many multiples it came back to them. Mm-hmm. And this is people who are like, in the Christian world, we would say they're not giving with a pure heart. But these men understood when it goes out, it's coming back multiplied.
Yeah.
You know, we hear a lot of times in the church, like this prosperity gospel or whatever, and people get so fascinated with the idea of making money. But we know that it's, first of all, were we called to give it? Secondly, where's our heart at?
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't given with pure motive, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
And a lot of times in my pursuit of just trying to do things like in the way that pleases God, like, bro, my pride gets in the way all the time. It's like, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at how good you are. Look at how nice you are to everybody. And people want to look at your exterior, how we were talking about earlier. People want to look at your exterior. Man, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Look at how friendly he is.
Yeah.
Look at how smart he is. I'm like, man, if you only knew how rotten I was.
Yeah.
Like, if you only knew how rotten I was.
Can I give you something on the opposite spectrum
Go
of
ahead.
that
Yeah.
pride part
please.
of knowing your you giving me that compliment a few moments ago. I used to like act so humble and so it used to be cringy to me to hear that or even like you felt like the hypocrite as your pride.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, man, but if you knew how insecure I am as a not as a giver, but like you giving me compliments, I feel like I'm an imposter. I feel like I'm like, no, like if you only knew my heart in a different way. But my heart in a different way was like I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't, man, don't bring attention to me because I don't like the attention because I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like if you knew my thoughts, I would be disqualified. You know what I mean? Like, so I used to be like, oh man, you don't compliment me. Like I used to just be like, used to run from those moments. But now I embrace them because now I understand who I am more and growing through life and becoming older. Like I start learning. It's like, man, thank you for that compliment, man. I really appreciate it.
I want to share something with you because God worked with me in that area because I used to be the same way.
Oh, yeah.
One of the reasons that I work so hard and strive so hard is because I feel incompetent, right?
Yeah.
We're all lacking. We all have our thing, right? And I do what I do, and I want to be the best. I'm not going to lie. I want to be the best at everything that I do. I think God, that gives God glory. And I've often get compliments like that. Hey, man, you embody this, you're that. And I'm just little old me, humble me, spoke on the wheel. And I remember one time my pastor was giving me a compliment. And I gave the whole spiel that I usually do. about it's not me and this and that. And I was driving home, and I feel like God convicted me of that. And he said, quit denying the calling that I've given you.
Yeah.
He said, because at the time I was praying for, hey, give me endurance, give me extra anointing to be who you want me to be. What you're praying for is going to come when you step into it and you own it. Mm-hmm. Now, don't be boastful and it's me.
Yeah, right.
But say, like you said, I received that.
Yeah.
I received that.
Yeah.
Because me being overly humble and kind of, he made me feel like I was in a way rejecting his calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
and,
I
and
agree
it,
with you. I completely agree with you.
And in that process, you deflect the glory that God gets out of using you.
Yeah.
And if you were more transparent about like why this moment is big, like all right, you gave this to so and so and you blessed so and so, and man, that's awesome that you did that. How can I be involved next time? Like you're stunning both growth, because now, hey, you give the way you give. How can I be a part of that?
Right.
And if you deflect it, it's like there was never an opportunity for partnership and growth and sharing in those opportunities to be able to do even more. Because all it takes sometimes is, I know a guy that does an organization. He wanted to give shoes away to a couple of kids, and somebody found out about it and said, "Hey, how can I give 100 shoes?" And now he has a full-blown organization.
Right.
But had he been too humbled, or uncomfortable with the compliment and uncomfortable with, oh yeah, if you'd like to be involved next time, let me know.
Yeah.
Then this bigger organization wouldn't exist
Oh,
that
so
blesses
good.
hundreds, if not thousands, of kids in South Dallas.
That's so
And
good.
and
bro.
then so yeah, man, be confident, be competent, and be willing to be like, thank you, man. I give glory to God. And I'm nowadays I'm like, this is how you can get involved too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good, man.
So this, I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question, because excuse me, I know there's people that watch this podcast that may not know Jesus. Some may be new to their walk or have been walking for a long time, who may have an entrepreneurial gift, and they like being involved with serving people either in or out of the church, and they have this idea of how they should be doing things. But I want your perspective on what advice would you give to someone who feels called to something outside the church but still wants to honor God in it?
Oh, that's good.
So
Because you're like a good example for that.
yeah,
so.
no. I think first and foremost, I'm gonna give you context of me.
Okay.
I was a youth pastor at a mega church. I did it for a really long time. I was first humbled to be considered.
Yeah.
And taking that kind of role. I evolved into. I'll be honest. There was an era there, a good 4 or 5 years, where it got to my head.
Yeah.
You may not have known it if you knew me back then. You may not have known it was getting to my head in that moment.
Yeah.
But it did. And to where it's like now, being in this role, it's costing me a lot. My family wasn't healthy. I was spending more time in ministry than I did with my family, those kind of things.
Yeah.
And so I evaluated the cost and realized that, stepping away from ministry was probably the best thing, not only for my family's sake, but for my mental health sake. And then little did I know that I'd be what I was giving up. I had some fears. Let's not say some. I had a lot of fears of saying, hey, I'm walking away from ministry as I know it. And I literally told God, I'm willing to walk away from it for you to reinterpret, for you to re-engage me in a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
I get to do it what I feel like is in a broader perspective that impacts not only the kingdom, but the marketplace as well too.
Okay.
And then even the peers, even while I'm doing what I'm doing in the marketplace, people will say there's something different about Drew. There's something different about what he does. There's something different about him. What is it that he does? Who's his source? And so and beyond that, I've been able to be used in a way that I feel like, I'm just be honest, it cashes in for me in a different way. And I don't mean monetarily, financial, what I mean is like I feel more prosperous as a man being away from the title of full-time ministry.
Yeah.
I feel healthier. I feel like I can be in the kingdom, bless the kingdom, and because
still useful.
And still useful because let me just be honest. While I was in that pastoral role, I was hoping to sit down with men like you.
For real.
To cast a vision, to cast a vision and ask you for some money.
Can I have the last 4 numbers of your social security number?
and ask you for money.
I shouldn't say that. But you know what I'm saying?
And I'm at a place now where I can do that, where somebody can say, "Hey, I got this going on."
Yeah.
Boom. And I'm not, don't before y'all start hitting me up. I'm not funding multi-million-dollar project
yet.
But yeah, there you go.
Yet.
But if you need some help, and I believe in what you got going on, I'm there for you. And then so I'm able to do something differently now. And honestly, I feel like the identity that some of us young guys that have come up in ministry thinking that we're supposed to be this itinerant speaker, because I've traveled the world and preached.
Yeah.
I've been able to do both things. I've traveled the world and both preached and spoke, taught, did things around the world, but I've also done that equivalently with my camera as well too. And so for me, it's like God's still honored the vision that he's had for me to take me around the world, around this country, around this city, and being able to tell stories for the kingdom, for the sake of the kingdom. And I've always been vulnerable to God's swaying of like,
boom,
this is where I want you to be now. Nice. And I do that more confidently now, knowing that. And I was having wins for the kingdom inside my little church ecosystem. Don't get me wrong, God did amazing. The fruits are still there.
Yeah.
However, I do feel like it's a broader perspective. For the first time ever in my life, these last few years, I'm Emmy-nominated for Emmys.
Crazy, awesome.
Like little did I know that if in Telly Awards, like little did I know I would be in this position to be able to say, hey, put on my LinkedIn profile, Emmy-nominated.
That's right.
I'm putting on my
Emmy winning.
That's right, baby.
And then so yeah, man, I think I see these little cheesy memes of the little Jesus character with this big bouquet of flowers behind his back. And then this little girl with this one little flower and is like, hey, I'll trade you. And she's like, but I love my flowers. It's the best thing ever. He's like, but what I have for you is even greater. Obviously, the picture is saying she's reluctant on giving that up. And that's what I think was a pivotal part of my life, is being able to say, hey, I trust you. Whatever you have behind your back, Jesus, like, here goes the little that I have.
Man.
I often describe it as the movie Lord of the Rings, the very beginning, the first one, where Gandalf goes looking for somebody for the
Frodo.
Yeah, and he says, I'm looking for somebody to go on an adventure with me.
Yeah.
And I often feel that that's what God does to us.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go on an adventure with me?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to leave everything you know.
Yeah.
Might even ask you to leave your house. Might even ask you to move. But are you willing to come with me?
Yeah.
And that's often what it is. It's an adventure. It is an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about like your journey is that you had comfortability and you had what looked like longevity in a linear sense, right? But whenever your vertical relationship aligned, he didn't even keep you in ministry.
Yes.
He had you doing something entirely different. And before the pod, just so y'all know, this is the behind the lens moment, but we were talking, and I think you even mentioned that you kind of knew that you overstayed your time.
Yeah.
So, you were trying to.
Yeah, I was a product of what looking like what staying too long looks like. That's what I'm saying. Staying too long. What does staying too long looks like? For me, in a nutshell, to sum it up, was the grace of doing something is falling off of me. Turmoil, relationships, workplace, negative banter, just all those kind of things. Relationships are being thrown into question, not necessarily because of like moral failures, nothing like that. That's never been my story.
Right.
But it's just the little things and being called into question about certain things and and so for me, like that's I was a product of what it looks like to stay too long in a place and not trust God enough to say, hey, God, I trust you to move on from this. Because honestly, what I thought I was hanging on to was loyalty. I thought I was hanging on to a brand. I thought I was hanging on to something that was bigger than me.
Yeah.
And if I could attach myself to something big like that, then I would have a sense of significance.
I'm useful.
I'm useful.
Yep.
I'm known.
Yep.
Job security there. But little did I know God had different plans for me. And don't get me wrong, there's no harsh feelings in the sense of like I needed to leave from there or, I don't have anything bad to say. What I'm saying is I appreciate where God had to bring me in my life to say, hey, it's time to move on. And this move that you were reluctant to do, now I have to put you in a place of uncomfortableness to be obedient. And then so that's what I had to go through.
Man, you know what I'm noticing is that so your dynamic whenever you're a pastor, it was I need your voice here. And you're really good at that, right? And whenever it was time to go, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take your voice, I'm gonna bring you into the industry you're in now, and I need your voice here.
At the time that
So
you
it's
were a
like-
pastor, did you maybe think that you couldn't serve God as effectively outside of the church?
Yes, I believe the hype and the lie because of the platforms that I was on, the opportunities that I had, the both local and national and global opportunities that I had.
Yeah.
I felt like it doesn't get better than this. Like
Yeah.
frequent flyer miles.
Oh yeah. I see.
You know what I mean?
First class.
Like just all those little things
The
like
lifestyle.
that. The lifestyle.
Yeah.
But don't be wrong, I still drive a Nissan. Like so don't think I'm parked out here at this church.
You're reliable, bro.
Yeah. Like I'm not driving a luxury car. I guess I could have, but I wasn't that type of flamboyant guy. I never have been. But I may be flamboyant with my pickleball paddles. I'm one of the
Hey,
best.
that's okay.
So to answer your question, I was both concerned that is my significance somewhere else going to be, am I going to be less popular? Am I going to be less loved?
Oh,
be
man.
loved?
Yeah.
Am I going to be less known? Am I going to be less compensated for? Am I gonna, I'm gonna just be honest, I'm gonna be straight up. Those were my concerns.
Yeah.
But my curiosity for peace, to be in God's will, to just please God was greater than hanging on to those things.
Yeah.
I've never been. Because of the nature of how I serve, I've always been next to the man. So I know what it takes, and I know the stresses. I know some of the things to go through, and I would never want to be in their shoes.
Yeah.
And I know me personally, I wouldn't be, not that I'm effective by any means, but I wouldn't be able to be doing what I do if I was in his shoes. And that's why I say you embody what we do here, because we want, part of this podcast is to give the men a glimpse of what it's like to be a biblical and a biblical man in the world.
Yeah.
You don't have to serve. You don't have to be on a platform to make an impact in the world, to make a difference, to serve God boldly.
But I think the kind of the parallel I was making with how he took your voice from one place to another is like he may take your voice and make you louder than the world's voice in the industry that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because he may make you excel way more than everybody else. Emmy, hello. That tells you right there. And who is this DC guy?
And in my opinion, who am I? But in my opinion, I think you're more impactful now than if you would have stayed where you were. You would have been isolated.
Facts.
And only been connected to that institution. And now, dude, like global, like now they're good. Yeah, you're more impactful.
No, and even to where like I'm sitting in rooms. I have like sitting with the founder of I won't say the brand, but sandwiches that you and I like.
Oh,
I see their
I'm with
commercials,
it.
and they sponsor college bowl games. I'm like sitting with those people,
Nice.
in those kind of rooms, and
to a certain degree, they're even asking for your input.
yeah,
For your feedback.
like
Give me your
I'm in
feedback,
this,
bro.
I'm in
Really,
this
what do
room
you think?
because my camera brought me into that room or those opportunities. But now it's like, hey, Drew, leave your camera in your hotel room. Let's go hang out. Like,
Cool.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I definitely feel that if I can, or if anybody, whether that's me or please let my story resonate with you. Anybody watching is like, whatever you think your identity is tied up into, God doesn't see you that way. If anything, he sees the thing that you have identity with, the job, the W-9, W-2 that you have. That's only a tool.
Yeah.
It's only a tool, and it's a temporary tool. That tool wears out. That tool.
Yeah.
There's new tools coming out.
Yeah.
There's generations beneath you that are coming up. Things get easier and better, flow easier. The same way the gifts in the kingdom are the same way. Like
Yeah.
God is raising up somebody to do it more graciously than you ever did. And that's what I hope. And I really hope that if there's a story here tonight, is that you as a man first discover who you are, because those are things that I had to go through.
Yeah.
The identity crisis, because there's even more things that we didn't get to cover that man, if we had 3 more hours, I could probably just tell you.
Yeah.
But just understand that I was tied up in this identity of thinking that this is who I am because this is what I do.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, yes, we're talking about the opportunities, the Emmys, but honestly, the more proudful thing that I am away from ministry is that I'm a better dad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that I'm a better dad.
That makes me happy to hear, bro.
And I even just want to cry right now because
Yeah.
just being a better dad is more important to me than anything else.
That's right.
Being able to mentor other people's kids and counsel and be there
Yeah.
for them, had 18, 20 plus years of that. But now I get to be the perfect dad, the perfect counselor, the perfect listener. Like even to where my daughter is confident in our relationship that she's telling me about a boy she likes. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I've been able to build that trust with her, and that like just being able to be there for her in a way that makes me better.
She's 8 years old.
11.
She's 11.
11.
You're built for this.
Yes.
Like, y'all already know what an orphan heart is. I think we've experienced it in some way, but the reason why you want to cry is because you've been given the love of the Father to be a father
Yeah.
for your child.
Yeah.
You're passionate. When you
Yeah.
want to cry, she's just passionate
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
It burns inside of you.
Yeah.
It does, man.
We cry a lot when we have conversations. We can't
Man,
help it.
almost every time. I want you. It's interesting how you talked about like teaching other people to be better than even you were. Because Papo yesterday was telling me a story about how he started off in technology. That's what he was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
And essentially his son took up an interest in technology. Can you tell that story?
Yeah, I was just telling him how sometimes, we're talking how sometimes the child becomes the parent figure, and sometimes his knowledge surpasses that of the father even. And I was telling him that, I'm in semiconductors, and I was pretty savvy in the computers and all that, and I used to build computers, put them together. I showed my son. And now everything advances so quick now that I don't even mess with it. Now I just call him and say, "Hey, can you put this together? I want to do X, Y, and Z." It was a software to design pools and whatnot, construction software, kind of like CAD. It's like you needed a certain RAM, a certain graphic card, and whatnot. And I just called him.
Yeah.
And I yielded to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, you're more knowledgeable now than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take on. This is what I need. You take care of
But
it."
even thinking about that, like you passed on that information, that hardware, technical information, and now he's able to build that. But think even more so, whenever is he a father yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. But whenever he becomes a father, watch him build an even better PC.
Yeah.
Watch him build a better version of what you did, because you only have the references of what you had to build him up, and of course with the supplementation of what God gave you. But just think about, if you're fascinated with that right now, of what he can do with computers and programming and all, think about what he is whenever he becomes a father.
But the TV in our room went out.
Oh,
we
really?
took it apart. He's like, let me see what boards they are, Dad. I could probably fix it unless you just want to get a new one. I'm like, heck no, look into it.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's graphic design, marketing, branding, all that. But he could have easily been an engineer.
Yeah.
He ordered the boards, replaced them. I got my TV working brand new. My wife and I think it looks brighter now. I don't know.
That's crazy.
But he repaired it. He repaired the flat screen.
That's cool, man. Well, man, you're a beautiful human, bro. I appreciate you.
You blessed us, bro. Hopefully when you get that Emmy, you still remember us.
Come on, man.
But look, we're going to be rooting for you.
Thank you.
I want God to bless you.
Yeah.
I want you to prosper. I want the best for you and your family. Honestly, we do.
Yeah, we do, man.
Thank you for honoring us. You definitely blessed me.
Yeah, thank you.
You definitely blessed me.
I wouldn't mind having you come on again.
Hey,
at
listen,
some
I
point.
think I'm offended if you don't have me.
Okay.
Perfect. It's on now. Hopefully, the next time we won't have a tornado.
Right,
For me,
right.
like I don't see this as because context again, people, it started raining and pouring down really hard
Super
while we were
hard.
here. But I think that's a little wink, because it was a little warm outside. We're cooled off now, and we poured out our hearts, and the rain poured out.
I look at everything through a spiritual lens first. And when I heard that, I'm like, you're not going to stop this.
Yeah.
Drew has something great to share today.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, it's on now.
yeah.
It's like obstacle becomes the way, baby.
It's almost like I'm waiting for it to start pouring again, because I feel like we locked in whenever that happened. But
it's good.
But even going back, thank you for having me. Even talking about fatherhood, one of the reasons why I couldn't come last time that you invited me was because I had my daughter and I had obligations with her, and so even being able to tell for something as significant as this podcast because of my daughter. Yeah. It's like, no, my wife is working out of town and I have my daughter. It's probably not going to work out. So
yeah. Well, man, we're blessed. For those of y'all watching, if you like what you see, click, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of when we release new content. Be blessed. Come back. Peace.
Peace. God bless y'all.
God bless you.